And my guest later on, as I mentioned to you, is Michael Wilson, who'll be talking about this Interfaith Week happening in Scotland. And the finale of the Interfaith Week is an event happening Interfaith Fun Day, happening at the St Mungo Museum on Sunday the 1st of December as well, between 2 and 4 p.m. Again, it's a lot happening on the 1st of December. So this is on the 1st of December between 2 and 4 p.m. Then an event happening at St Mungo's Museum, as you know, over beside the Glasgow Cathedral, Glasgow Cross, or the Royal Infirmary, just next to the hospital itself. So inshallah, if you can, do come along to that. And as I said, that's a part of Interfaith Week Scotland, and it's the final of that taking place between 2 and 4 p.m. at the St Mungo's Museum. That's all the announcements that I do have. As always, say, please people, do let me know what's happening out there in terms of events, then I'm more than happy to share that with you guys. But in the meantime, we're going to move on. As I mentioned to you earlier on, I'm right interview with Michael. He's in studio, so we'll be speaking to him soon, and then we'll continue our talk with Sheikh Hamza Yusuf straight after that, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, welcome back, and still to come on the show we have our continuation of our lecture by Sheikh Hamza Yusuf on purification of the heart. But as earlier on, as I promised you guys, my guest today is Michael Wilson, who joins me in the studio here in AwazFM. Michael, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sheikh.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank
you. Good. Michael Wilson is the project manager. I'll get this right. Is the project manager for Interfaith Glasgow, which is a local organisation working with all faiths across the community. Michael is in post until September next year. I believe he's filling in for someone who's on maternity leave. Is that right?
Yes, I am indeed.
You are. Excellent. But Michael, obviously a lot of listeners out there want to know exactly who Interfaith Glasgow are. Would you get up to the background of the project, where it all began, what kind of work you do?
Yeah, well, a lot of people probably might not have heard of Interfaith Glasgow because it's so new. We're about a year and a bit old. We started in October last year. We're funded through the Scottish Government's Equality Fund, and we were started because there was a feeling from Interfaith Scotland, our parent body, who currently host us, that there was a need for more coordinated interfaith work in the city, because there is definitely loads of stuff going on,
sure,
and faith communities working together, but there was a lack of coordination and a lack of opportunity for people who were really passionate about faith mean.
Yeah.
And what I say was, what do you think it means? Because it really is different things to different people.
Sure.
The best definition I've had so far, and the one which I'm going to stick to while I'm working for Interfaith Glasgow, is interfaith is the opportunity for people to come together in friendship, in dialogue, through shared experience and through cooperation.
Excellent.
Now, by friendship, it could be as simple as, having an event to bring people of different faiths together, to break down any barriers or misconceptions people have about actually meeting people of other faiths, which for some people is a huge thing.
Sure.
And dialogue is a little bit more deeper. It's people talking about their faith or belief and what it means to them, and looking at other faiths and belief systems and how that all kind of works together. Shared experience is something, about as kind of a whole human, how do you feel about faith? And cooperation is about how can we as faith communities, how can belief traditions work together to alleviate things like poverty, poor health, problems with the environment. So there's opportunities for faith communities to work together to do that. So that's the best definition I think I can give you at the moment.
Yeah, that's a very comprehensive definition of interfaith, I guess. So we're here now. This is, I believe, Interfaith Week, Scottish Interfaith Week. Can you tell us a bit more about that, please?
Yeah, so just now we're actually coming to the end of Scottish Interfaith Week.
Tail end of it, okay.
So it began on Sunday the 24th, and it'll finish this Sunday the 1st. Scottish Interfaith Week, which happens a week after Interfaith Week in England, Wales, Northern Ireland, is an opportunity for people who are interested in interfaith or who are already involved to run events, activities that basically showcase and highlight what interfaith is. It's also an opportunity for people who've maybe never been involved or who have an interest in learning more about interfaith and being involved with the various faith and belief communities to come together through events, activities that local interfaith groups put on across the country. Across Scotland, I believe there were 60 events and activities put on, and here in Glasgow we've had, I should really know this, I think it's about 25. Some of them were organised by us, but a lot were actually organised by people in the community, who were really keen to do stuff.
Excellent. And what events have happened so far? So you mentioned a few. I mean, Glasgow's been busy with 25.
Well, I'll certainly share with you what Interfaith Glasgow's done. And this is the Friday now, and I've been working on this since the Sunday, so I'm a wee bit fatigued,
busy week.
It's all good. So on we began actually first 7 o'clock on Sunday morning with a broadcast on BBC Radio Scotland about our Stepping Into Diversity project, which we run in partnership with the West of Scotland Regional Equality Council. That's a youth project that brings young people from different faith traditions together to learn filmmaking, which is an exciting thing for young people, but also to engage in some interfaith dialogue, because these young people are coming from a range of different faith traditions. So they were interviewed for the radio programme and were able to tell their story and what they've learned. So that was the very first event. Excellent. And the very first day we followed that with a showing of a film called The Imam and the Pastor, which basically tells the story of two men in northern Nigeria, one a Christian pastor, one a Muslim imam, and how they have, despite violence between them both, the Christian pastor has actually lost his hand in interreligious violence, how they've been able to kind of heal and work in their area to try and overcome violence that's caused by religion, and that was in the African and Caribbean Centre. One of the really good events so far has been our Macmillan Coffee Morning, which was held at Pollockshaw's Borough Hall on Monday the 25th. Really great event. There was women from a variety of different religious backgrounds there, and also of non-religious backgrounds. And together we were able to raise £215.65, which will go to Macmillan.
Excellent.
One of the big things I was really keen about that event, it's about cooperation, because cancer doesn't know what faith you have, it doesn't know what belief you have. So that was just a kind of sample, and the one I'll kind of, there has been other events, but the one I'll kind of finish on is our Faith and Poverty event, which happened last night. No, it was Wednesday the 27th in Glasgow City Chambers.
Sure.
That was a wonderful event which brought together faith traditions from across the city, and the aim of that event was to show that faith communities care about challenging poverty, and actually within faith communities there's already so much being done, whether that's within the own faith community or actually faith communities working together. So we had some great speakers, from Christian, Buddhist, Sikh, Muslim backgrounds, and also some really good conversations, discussion groups for people who were coming from faith backgrounds, coming from the anti-poverty sector, from a range of organisations, to actually talk about what they do and perhaps how they could do it together. So we're hoping this is the start of something really good. So I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds excellent. And is it something anyone can get involved in?
It is indeed. There's nothing stopping anyone becoming involved in interfaith. It isn't just for people of faith or belief. It could be that you are not of a faith or belief but are interested in what kind of how people work together. What I would say to anyone, this is my shameless plug here for Sunday, is we are having a final event on Sunday for Interfaith Week. It's the Interfaith Family Fun Day, and that's at St Mungo's Museum in Castle Street, next to the Royal Infirmary, between 2 and 4 p.m. So if anyone's interested, please come along. There will be people there from a variety of faith backgrounds. The aim of the day will be a relaxed way for people to ask questions about faith traditions they may never even have heard of. And it's just really to kind of help people develop that understanding. Other than that, I'm always delighted to hear from people who have an interest in interfaith, and I've only been in post for 13 weeks, and I've had the absolute privilege to meet some wonderful people in Glasgow who really are close to their faith, but also recognise that we all need to live in this city together. And one of the really good ways to do that for faith communities is to actually talk. So check us out on Facebook, we're Interfaith Glasgow, and check us out on our website, which is www.interfaithglasgow.org, and we'd be delighted to hear from you.
And obviously now you're coming to the end of this week, Interfaith Week, so what's the plans for the next year or so, the coming year?
I would like to think
got the Commonwealth Games coming up and things as well.
Yes, indeed,
so
we have. And I'm glad you mentioned that. There has been the Commonwealth Games have established a religion and belief reference group, and faith traditions across the city are represented on that, and it's going to be, I'm really excited to see what people come up with to celebrate the Commonwealth Games, because it is not only an opportunity for everyone in Glasgow to celebrate, but it's also a wonderful interfaith opportunity, because it's something that none of us will be able to avoid.
No, not at all.
You know, and I think it's something that we should celebrate and embrace and use that opportunity.
Excellent.
Everything that I've learned this week through Interfaith Week, I really want to take forward, and that, as I said, from our Faith and Poverty event all the way through to having coffee mornings, as nice as it sounds, but there was a really good result from that. So it's going to be a really interesting year, and building a lot in the passion that I've seen in this last week.
Excellent. And finally, in terms of, obviously we learnt so much about the Interfaith Week with, you know, the activities that are going on. How does somebody get in touch with you guys?
Well, as I said, the best way to go is to go on our website first, which, as I said, is www.interfaithglasgow.org, or can hit us through Facebook as well, and we're on Twitter too. We're proper up on social media. But yeah, and we'll be delighted to hear from you.
Fantastic, it sounds great. And as you heard from Michael with regards to the Interfaith Week, sort of the Family Fun Day this Sunday as well, just to kind of top things off for the week, sounds exciting as well. Between 2 and 4. So Michael, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that, and I wish you all the best for this final event and also the year to come as well.
That's great.
Thank you. You know, we're here to support you as well. Thanks very much, Michael. As we said, next up is our lecture by Sheikh Hamza. I want to leave you with that, and I'll be back with you just before we end, as always, with those announcements that we made earlier on.